All right, so welcome back. So we've kind of got a top and a bottom. What we're going to do next is we're going to add 2 more views to the top and make them evenly split that space. And then we're going to add 5 views to the bottom and make them evenly split that space. And then we're going to add a text view in there as well. So it's very similar concepts to what we've done before, but it takes a lot of practice to do these things well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add 2 more views. We're going to drop them into the top for this time. The easiest way to see if something's a sub view is to use the layout for sure, right? So I can see that I've kind of got top and then I've got a view on here. And if I want to, I can go ahead and name this guy. So I'm going to call him left. And I'm going to go ahead and move him to roughly the right spot. For no apparent reason, what I chose to do on the top is I chose to go all the way to the side, but not all the way to the top or the bottom, which is fine. And then I'm just going to leave some space on him. I do ask that you go ahead and make him some crazy color, so let's just go ahead and make him yellow. And if you'd like, you can go and add some constraints for him. So he's going to need the constraints for the top, the bottom, and the left. So I'm going to add those constraints. And then if I want to, I could drag another view over, or I could highlight this one and drag it. And then if I hit Option as I drag it, then it will make a copy for me. So I wanted to go ahead and slide this guy all the way to this side, add the constraints for him for top, right, bottom, add those constraints, use a different color for him. There you go, that's a pretty green color. And then I'm going to add the additional constraints. What the heck, I'll do it between these two. So I'm going to call him right, and I'm just going to show that I can do it all from the outline. So from here to here, I want to add a horizontal spacing rule. And then from here to here, I want to add a equal widths rule. So to be honest, this is the exact same as what we did last time. We're just kind of doing it again. You'll notice that since they're both in this top area, their constraints are in this area. So what I need to do is I need to find that one that affected them both. I'm going to show you a different way to find it. And I want to change this one right here, so there I found it, right, to be 0. Another way you can find these constraints is to open up the property inspector over here and click on the ruler. And it'll show you all these different rules. So you can see that here is this rule that I would like to edit, and right now it's 170. Instead, I'd like to make it 0. It's kind of nice changing it in that way because then it actually updates the view for you kind of all in one step, which is cool. And in order to actually see this thing, you have to look at your previews and see if you can actually get it to where it splits evenly there, and then it splits evenly there. Notice you can see the top, which is red, a little bit there and a little bit there. What I'd like for you to do next is, I totally welcome you trying it on your own. Make the bottom such that it has 5 views that are all evenly spaced, and leave the margin on the left and right so you can see like a blue border all the way around. So I'll just kind of show you again here. And as far as colors, you can use whatever colors you want. I chose to just kind of do a grayscale as I work my way across. See if you can do it on your own. All right, I'll do it as well. So I'm just going to drop somebody into the bottom so I can see that the view actually went into the bottom. It's actually a sub view there. What I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to choose to kind of line up the first one just about right. I'm going to choose to make it a little too skinny just because it'll make my life easier. And then I'm just going to copy over a couple copies of it, 4 copies total. And I'm going to go ahead and put the last one at the far right side. As far as the colors go, I mean, you can do whatever you'd like. I'm just going to go ahead and make it a light gray, and then a dark gray, and a light gray, just so that there's something different. And then I'm going to go through and add my constraints. So this guy is going to get a top, a bottom, a left. The next guy over is also going to get a top, a bottom, and a left. And then a top, a bottom, and a left. The fourth one gets a top, bottom, and left. And then the last one is actually going to get a top, bottom, left, and a right. Now, the number one thing that's wrong here is that all these are not 0 between them. I also want to add relationships to where they have equal widths. So from those two, I'm going to say equal widths. From these two, I'm going to say equal widths. From these two, I'm going to say equal widths. And you can see that by saying equal widths all the way through, they end up all being forced to be the same. So there's equal widths there. Now we just need to go through and find those constraints between the two of them and actually update so that they snap together. So what I kind of like to do is I like to just click on one of the views. So here it's trailing space. I'm just going to edit this, and instead of being 8, it's just going to be 0. I'm going to find this next one and find his trailing space. And instead of 29, it's supposed to be 0. This guy's trailing space, edit him, 0. This guy, find his trailing space. It's currently at 145. I want it to be 0. And then that guy's all set. So there you go. I think I've accomplished that portion of my mission. If I look at it on a number of screen sizes now, you can see that it is a nice flexible layout with 2 on the top and 5 on the bottom. And then the other one is also 2 on the top and 5 on the bottom. Now, to be honest, where this trick is most useful is not in arranging views, but it's in arranging things that go into views. But the nice thing is let's say that what I really cared about was a text field. What I can do is I can have this text field be in just like this black box, and then I size it the way I want, and then I just pin it to top, left, and right. Then I can see that text view is now fully constrained. There's nobody yelling at me. And then as I move this thing around on different screen sizes, you can see that text view works out just lovely. And then, to be honest, what I would do in a real app is I would go through to all these UI views and make them clear color so that you wouldn't see them at all. So this idea of kind of adding UI views for grouping and for flexible layouts is a really powerful thing. Assuming you're taking this class for credit, you're going to need to go ahead and submit this as well. So you're just going to have to find your flexible layout practice folder, say compressed to zip, and then this is the zip that you'll have to submit on Moodle. They will start getting harder as they go, but this one was just kind of a really simple example just because that using UI views to make flexible layouts, it's just so powerful. If you've done a lot of web development, you've had to do things with CSS, you'll really appreciate how easy this is, right? Now, if you're fighting with this UI interface builder on your own, it might not feel that easy, but it is pretty easy once you kind of get the hang of it. All right, that's it for this time. We'll see you next time where we talk about the lab.